some more rumors about Netflix possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of making a video game based show. This time, I mean, why not? It's a really big moment for Resident Evil. Resident Evil TV show could be coming to Netflix. Now, they had nothing official to say at the moment, but a reporter from Deadline stated the plan is for the series to expand the Resident Evil universe and deepen the existing mythology. I hear the series will keep the basic premise, which also served as a setup for the movie franchise. The drama series will explore the dark inner workings of the Umbrella Corporation and the New World Order caused by the outbreak of the T-Virus. Some bit of concerning additional news in this report, found on IGN, by the way. Constantin Film was the production company involved in the Resident Evil movies, and apparently they're involved in this adaptation.
Well, yeah, that's not good, because I was just about to say, it sounds like they're following the plot of the games.
Yeah,
based on that, right?
But you can say that they kind of set up the movie. Some of the movies are set up. The movies aren't very good.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
They're nothing like the games. So if this is true, I don't have a whole lot of hope for myself. I don't know. What do you think? I know you're not the biggest follower of Resident Evil stuff.
Yeah, I know the movies are crappy.
Fairly.
So they just need to stick to the games. Like, try and get it as close to that as possible.
Yeah. Here's what I don't understand with, considering making video game adapting anything. I feel like you should take a game, especially when Resident Evil would actually make either a good movie or TV series.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should take each game and make that into either one movie or one season.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because a Resident Evil game, a typical Resident Evil game, the campaign usually lasts anywhere between 10 and 20 hours. Well, that's perfect for like a 13 episode long season.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I'm not sure how you could make a season out of 7.
You would have to add to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you would kind of do right now I'm watching through the second season of The Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they work that in is they make sure every episode has like an action scene in it. Sometimes it's at the beginning, sometimes in the middle, sometimes it's at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on what that episode needs for it. But there's a lot of character building and narrative flow weaved in throughout the episode to make sure that there's an actual story going on. So just do that with Resident Evil, especially with the first game, since the first games were kind of bare bones as we got introduced to certain characters, and the tone, of course, was B movie level type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You would need to basically take the more current versions of those characters and kind of, I guess, bring them back to when they were younger and not such hot shots and not so used to seeing zombies walking around like the Resident Evil 2 remake does, and just show these people as unseasoned survivors.
Yeah. And like I'm not really sure like what's in all the Resident Evil games, but part of me, and I don't think it's going to be this way at all, it's live action, right?
Yeah.
Part of me thinks it would be cooler like animated, and then you could just there'd be less like crappy effects, because shows, Netflix seems to be better usually, but generally like TV shows effects when they're like really big.
Yeah, but I mean, great. look at Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, they
don't really do anything more than that, I guess, in Resident Evil.
I mean, there are zombies, there are other monsters, but those are like very rare. Like always, the most common enemy is zombies.
Yeah.
that you would see. So, and I mean, Walking Dead, for better or worse, depending on how you look at their CG, sometimes the CG looks good, sometimes not so
but then
good.
it's also Netflix usually has some usually does it pretty well.
They throw a lot into their shows.
Yeah, okay. So I guess it could be done well with live action, but
I think it could, but it does concern me that
the studio, or is it the studio, or
it's a the name of it is Constantin Film, and it's a production company.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I wish they
concerning.
would stay far away from, and this kind of makes sense because I know that the last Resident Evil movie they came out with, they did say that was absolutely going to be the last one.
Which one? What number was it? Do you know?
I want to see either the 5th or the 6th one that they've made.
Too many. Number too many.
Yeah, and it all revolves around this character named Alice, who's played by Mila Jovovich, who was a model before this, and I mean she acts well enough, but the fact that they basically made Resident Evil all about this made up character who's not in any of the games, and they make her like she's like the Jill Valentine of the movies, but even like a bigger role to play, that never appealed to me. It's just like, no, I want to watch a film adaptation of these characters,
Right.
but you're not letting me do that.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. So Netflix, please make this do what you did with Castlevania. I know that's animated, but hear me out. You could take the games and basically just stick to but flesh out the game storylines. It works out when you do it. Everyone loves Castlevania. I finally got around to watching the 2nd season, and it is superb. A little bit of a slow startup, but once you get to that penultimate episode, oh my goodness, the payoff is so good. Very good animation, and yeah, knowing Netflix, it's probably going to have some production heft thrown into it. It's probably not going to be the same level that AMC does with Walking Dead, but I don't think you need to do that.
Right.
Because like with their shows, they don't necessarily do one season per year.
Yeah.
With Netflix shows, they just kind of do, we get it out when we get it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be down for it, but please do it right.